In 1984, Tonka decided to expand on its successful GoBots toy line. Tonka's licensing agreement to produce Bandai's Machine Robo in the United States had gone so well that Tonka chose to continue their partnership. This time, Tonka would acquire the license for Bandai's much larger Machine Robo DX line and release them in the US under the name Super GoBots. And today, we'll be taking a look at the Renegade Super GoBot Destroyer, here on Creed's Collection. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Creed's Collection. Today we're taking a look at Destroyer. He is a Series 1 Super GoBot released in 1984. Being a Super GoBot, he is much larger than a regular GoBot, which makes him extremely intimidating in comparison. Destroyer is a member of the Evil Renegades, and his vehicle form of a German Leopard A4 tank is quite fitting in my opinion. So let's not waste any time, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Destroyer. First and foremost, this tank form is incredible. It has amazing details from shovels and tools on the side to panels that look like actual machined metal with tiny rivets in them. I just don't see how this could get much better. It's pretty much an exact replica of an A4 Leopard tank, so it's a home run. So now I'll take a look at some of his wheels and damage at the same time. So there's 2 wheels back here that roll, 5 in the center that are there for show, and there should be 2 in the front, but I'm missing one. There was a rubber tread that surrounded all of this at one point, but it rotted and fell off, unfortunately. Now on this side, as you can see, same thing, 2 in the back, 5 that don't roll, missing 1, and then there's another one. While researching Destroyer for this episode, I noticed that nobody had the treads anymore, so I just don't think they were designed to last this long. And the lack of treads means, sadly, he no longer rolls at all, so you just kind of have to slide him around. Alright, now that we've covered his vehicle form, let's go ahead and transform him. First, take his gun out, set it to the side. We'll come back to that later. Now you want to take the turret of the tank and pull up. Now you want to take the 2 halves and push them together like that. And now you can open this back panel, which hides his arms. Once you pop that down, you push right here on these 2 little areas. And it swings his arms out. Go ahead and grab them. Once you get him flipped out, close the door, and we'll go ahead and turn him around and flip the legs down. And then you want to slide his legs forward on his hips like that. They kind of lock into place. Then you want to flip his feet down, flip his arms out of the back of his upper arm like that. Last but not least, you want to get his gun, and it pegs right into his arm like this. Something that only took me 35 years to figure out. That's right, only in the last 2 days have I realized that this gun pegs into his arm. Now we'll go ahead and take a 360 look at him in robot mode. I mean, look, maybe it's just me, but with his single eye there on his head and the gun hooked on his arm, he basically looks like a cross between Shockwave and Megatron from the Transformers. And I mean that as a huge compliment. I mean, let's be honest, GoBots never really did measure up to Transformers, but Destroyer is actually pretty excellent. I have a few small gripes with him, but we'll get into those as we take a closer look. So Destroyer is a pretty good robot mode overall. My only real complaints are I thought his forearms and hands should have looked a little better, and his legs, while they're fine, the problem is these feet hinges are really loose and he tends to fall over very easily. I feel like Bandai actually saw this coming when they designed the figure, so they gave him a mid-transformation mode that kind of solves this problem, and it's even featured on the front of the box. So here's that mid-transformation mode. It basically turns his lower body into the tank, but keeps his upper body transformed into a robot. This way he can roll around and he has no danger of falling over, and he can still interact with things, shoot them with his face cannon, and I don't know. But there's something about this that really reminds me of the Robotech fighters. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at Destroyer's articulation. So his legs can go all the way up. He can high kick with the best of them. And his legs also flex back a little bit like that. Now his arms can move in and out a little like this, and they can also do a complete 360 at the shoulder hinge. His arms can fold all the way back and do a little over a 90 degree. Now his head does a full 360 degree swivel, and this piece, while it does move a little, it's barely anything to talk about. So that's it. That covers Destroyer's articulation, which I think is pretty good for a transforming robot toy. Now, before we move on, I'd like to show his copyright information, Bandai Japan 1983, and I'd also like to point out that I am missing one accessory. Destroyer had a barrel extension, as you can see there at the bottom of the screen, and somewhere along the line I lost it, but honestly, I don't even remember ever having it. But I probably did, and that's what it looked like. And now for our He-Man size comparison. While Destroyer does have about half an inch on He-Man, I have a feeling that he'd only have a chance if he stayed in tank mode, because if you attacked him in robot mode, He-Man would just sweep the leg Cobra Kai style. Also, just to illustrate the difference between Super GoBots and regular GoBots, here's Destroyer next to Scooter. Now you can see why they called them Super. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my toy review for Destroyer from the 1984 toy line Super GoBots by Tonka. I got Destroyer as a birthday gift many years ago, and he quickly became one of my favorite toys of all time. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment. I love reading and responding to them. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it, and it would help my channel grow. I review a toy from my vintage collection every Wednesday, so hope to see you next week and every week after, here on Creed's Collection.